speaking of other fucking awful things, the Game Awards.
It's not that bad.
I think it's pretty bad. It's like,
not that bad. I'm gonna party poop. I'm gonna say I read the article.
So the whole reason I say that is because literally, like, the head of advisors for the Game Awards is like the president of Activision.
Oh, I actually had no idea. The thing is, I feel like I've biased the story and like putting any of this next to like Serial Child, whatever. So like talking about DHL guy and then talking about the Game Awards, it seems more tame. It's like if we just got like out of a story about like Albert Fish, serial child murderer, murdered like 100 kids, and then like you talk about anything.
Why are you like an expert on this subject?
I happen to have heard a podcast by Norm.
Oh, you
Macdonald
happen.
Where he talking about Albert Fish. It's a comedy podcast. All I'm trying to say is that I've made it very easy for me to rest my case based on what we just talked about.
Listen, this is the Cum podcast now, so
it isn't. I detest that. You talk about a pizza for 15 minutes one time, and that's all you're known for.
But okay, so I have
to,
listen. I have to have Dana's. I have to have the Dana shits on Blizzard section every fucking episode. Game Awards. They announce, say, hey, we aren't going to take side on the Activision thing, which is like completely bullshit in my opinion, because every other company has taken a side for this obviously awful thing that is objectively happening. It's not something like, oh, we don't want to take sides on shit, and then you find out that one of the people that's like head of directors for the Game Awards is actually president of Activision. So it's like pretty fucking awful optics.
So I'm the one who said I read this and I didn't read that part. So that's pretty fucked up. I was about to say, like, the only amendum is that there was after the original article dropped, there was an amendum by the host of the Game Awards. What's his name? Jeff.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Yeah, where he said it was that he like he commended and like all this stuff.
Commended. He commended the people speaking out, not Blizzard.
Not commended. Condemned.
Oh, he condemned Blizzard, yes, and then he encouraged people who were harassed in a workplace to speak out. So I think that Jeff Keighley himself, he's in a better position to not necessarily be neutral, or to be a little less neutral, and that like he's allowed to have his opinions. But the actual Game Awards themselves, they weren't making a stand because multiple Blizzard games had been nominated. But he did say that outside of the nominations, Blizzard wouldn't really have a presence at the events, which is kind of weird logistically. Like they at least have to have the one guy who's going to pick up an award if they somehow get the award. Like they can't just like outright say, like, even though they're nominated, they're not going to get an award. They still have to get the guy there. Anyway.
Well, yeah. But like if you scroll down, like click on the tweet, the first thing says like the advisory board. Activision.
Okay. I only read the
Koch,
Kotaku
president.
article. I don't go on Twitter.
Yeah.
The thing is, I'm not surprised because I always thought the Game Awards was kind of under hot water. Like it was a terrible, like every single award show was under hot water. Like no one cares.
Well, it's like what the fuck is the Game
Awards
or anything? Like out of nowhere, it was just like the Game Awards. I'm like, what is this? Like who runs this?
I think that's kind of by design. Like all the game companies came together and it's like we need a Game Award, and they kind of just made it like 5 years ago. Which I think it has a place.
E3 kind of was.
I guess, but like I think that the Game Awards has a place. I think they just haven't found their stride. The thing is, I feel like award shows in general are kind of in a weird spot, and like the Game Awards kind of came at a weird time for award shows. But even so, like I like the Game Awards as a concept. I enjoy watching the Game Awards, even though like every single award show has like cringy. Like
every single award show is fucking terrible in my opinion.
I enjoyed it, except
than Todd and Aaron's.
Oh yeah, Todd and Aaron is a great one. I actually saw Mega 64 this weekend. They were pretty fun. It was pretty not this weekend, like 2 weeks ago, but
yeah.
That's a very brief story. It was very cold because they had to do it in a church, and it was at a church, which was weird, but it was an overall enjoyable show. Anyway, back to this. The only thing I don't really like about Game Awards is when they do something that is completely like next musical guest Ray Schmurder or whatever his name is, drummer's here.
Yeah,
it's like I don't need to see this band at this Game Awards. I just want to see the awards.
It was like when they had like Metallica at at BlizzCon or whatever, and they had to like completely on all streams everywhere had to like cut the sound because of DMCA.
I mean, that's a separate hilarious story, but like I like it when it's straight to the point. I don't need any of this like.
They had
sentimental...
Andrew WK last year, I think,
they
had the crowd, and it was like that's Andrew
hilarious.
WK in the crowd, and the crowd was just like,
I
Like, it was just like the most unenthused crowd. I mean, like Andrew WK killed it because he always does. But
I saw
um,
Andrew WK like a really long time ago, and it was one of the better shows I've been to. It was like the thing is, it was one of the weirdest shows I've ever been to because it was like right when he like started to branch into like classical music. So it'd be like an Andrew WK song and then like some random classical song. The show ended terribly because like people just wanted to keep partying and he wanted to get into the classical shit, and he just like ended the show early. But I touched Andrew WK.
He's really talented though.
He is. I like Andrew WK a lot. All I'm trying to say is that strip away the bullshit. I actually liked last year's YouTube Rewind. Sorry, 2 years ago YouTube Rewind where it was just stats. Just give me that.
Yeah,
Just give me the
I
awards.
mean, that's all anybody really cares about. No one cares about like, all this fluff, with like musical acts and stuff like that. I think musical acts in general, like, unless it's like a musical thing, like the BT Awards or like the Grammys, like that's expected of musical acts. But like at BlizzCon, at all these fucking other, like the game, like what the fuck do you need a musical act for? It's just super cringy, and it looks really bad when they pan over the crowd and it's just a bunch of nerds like.
I guess, but yeah, I think they just need somehow to justify like their bloated budget on like these things could run at such like literally just have a guy announcing them, have it be half an hour long, have it be the thing that really matters is the legitimacy.
Yeah, it's the legitimacy. They want to be like, oh, we're the Oscars of gaming. You know
what
I mean?
But I feel like they don't realize that the Oscars are lame to people our age and younger anyway. Just have a half hour event. The legitimacy comes from like Nintendo, Sony, like all these larger organizations saying, "Hey, this is the award. These are the awards."
Well, what they should just have it like. They should have like like they used to have E3 with all like the reveals with games, stuff like that. Just have like a 30-minute thing with awards, and then like everything else just be reveals for games. Like I think that would do really well.
Do they do game reveals at Game Awards?
No.
I don't think they need. I feel like that would just take away from the event if people were more interested in the.
Well, no. I mean, like just have like both in like one event.
They need a fundamental reimagining, and like I feel like the Blizzard stuff. I'm just so I guess I'm pretty exhausted by the Blizzard drama in general.
Can you remove this article because all I see is Sex Safari? Like when I look at our Discord.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I feel like that's when we're talking about Sex Safaris again. It's a good time to move on from the Blizzard drama. Oh, okay. Actually, all I wanted to say is that I'm honestly exhausted by the Blizzard drama, and I feel like the Game Awards suck so bad that I don't care enough about this news.
I'm in the space, and it just keeps getting worse and worse, and it just. What people don't understand is like World of Warcraft is more than a game for like millions of people. Like this was a literal lifestyle where I met some of my best friends. Like for millions of people, this is how we feel about this. Like we were so passionate about World of Warcraft and Blizzard products. Like these are literally a part of our lives. Like huge part of our identity of who we are. It might be hard to understand for a lot of people. So to see this stuff happening to like. It's like finding out your childhood hero is like a fucking terrible person. We
talked about last episode that you should never have idols.
I know, but it's like it's just hard to say because we invested so much time and effort into like something we like grew up with. Like we literally spent our entire adult lives with Blizzard.
I'm not sure if you knew this yet, but I uninstalled Hearthstone. The thing is,
I haven't played WoW in forever.
Like the thing is, I uninstalled Hearthstone because it was a massive time waster, and like I'm just trying to like read more because I grad school. But yeah, this is gonna be my primary video gaming output. Gucci Arcade. I'm getting all the new shit. I don't need Blizzard games anymore.
I just think it's so funny. We played more of this than like previous games.
Fuck Racing Lagoon. It's Gucci Arcade. Anyway. All I want to say is that I'm still going to go to BlizzCon. There's no way I don't go to BlizzCon whenever it happens again. If it ever happens again, please have BlizzCon again. It was really fun. I don't think they're going to have one. I somehow think they're going to skimp out of this.
Yeah, I think it's going to. If they do have it, it's going to be an absolute shit show.
Because they already announced that they're not having it in 2021 or 2022. Sorry, they're having a virtual one in 2022. Which means they're not going to have 2 years.
Yeah, they didn't have. They were supposed to have a virtual one this year, and they just didn't do it.
Yeah, and then I think they're having an online event next year, and so the earliest is 2023, which is ridiculous because the last one I went to is 2019. When you have a 4-year gap in something, I feel like it gets out of the means, like it gets out of the expectation. Like it's like, oh, we haven't had one of these in nearly half a decade. We could stop because before it was like if there was no BlizzCon barring a global pandemic, barring an actual excuse. They really had no reason to stop. Like, it would just like be like, hypothetically, if they had all this drama and they stopped, it's like, oh, they're stopping because of the drama. But now they have an actual reason to stop, and it was already at a loss. And
It's just like their excuse to just not do it.
yeah,
I wouldn't be
because the event was
surprised
already
if-
running at a loss, and like the reason they did it was goodwill to their fans. But now they don't have any goodwill, so like they might just
No,
like,
they
like,
don't.
Yeah,
Activision would be like, just like fuck it, you know.
yeah. So I'm actually scared that's gonna happen. And I hope it doesn't because I love BlizzCon. But it's probably better that like people who were sexually abused and harassed get their
I'm holding out that maybe Blizzard would be good one day, but like they would have to completely restructure their entire company. I don't think it's possible. So
pretty much.
sadness.